Scouts meet and greet.
Yeah.
Because I wanted security. So I went to UTC football. A good story for the podcast.
We're recording, so this is all going in.
Oh, fantastic.
We cold start this.
I mean, we kind of had some security of the UTC at the dodgeball tournament that we were emceeing.
Dude, so I went to UTC football and just started seeing who they posted as like their, athletes. And I found this guy and he was like the biggest dude like that there was. I was like, oh my gosh, he's a giant. I shot him a DM and I said, hey, I'm on this TV show. It's called All American. It's about football. I'm in town. I'm throwing out the first pitch for the Chattanooga Lookouts. Is there any way that you would kind of want to go with me? And, we can talk life and everything, but I would really just appreciate it if you could be there. I don't even think I mentioned like, I want you as security, like, cause I was trying to be low key, right? Like I didn't want to be like, come off as pretentious or anything. And sure enough, he was like, yeah, man, like we can do that. And brought him out and it was cool. We got to talk about life a little bit and he's with the Seahawks now, I believe.
Yeah, Seahawks,
and you guys know him. So he's just the most kind. He's a gentle giant, right? Like he's so kind, down to earth, and he has other passions. As we were talking about maybe before we started the podcast, like how important it is to be more than just your professional title, and how important it is to color outside the lines. Like, dude, I hate we all got in trouble for it, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Because that's the beauty of life, and you really, I guess it could be debated that you can mess it up, but I really think it's all a part. As long as you stay within the legal limits of life, we don't want to get in that sort of trouble.
Yeah.
But as far as just like failing, quote unquote, in an endeavor or in something that you're trying to obtain or learn, like there is no such thing. And I think too often we can discredit ourselves, and it can get into our psyche and our mental, and it can hurt us down the road. See, life is a long game, and if we start discrediting ourselves, then that discrediting brick stacks upon, and before we know it, we built these barriers in our life that could perhaps blind us of an opportunity 7.5 years from now.
Yeah.
So we just really have to be mindful of the present, understanding that it truly does build the future.
You're going to get a lot of these wise words on the podcast here today. If you were not aware, this is Hunter Clowdus on the show with us today. Miggie, should we give him 3 claps one time?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Greg Larner and Malcolm Harris. Chase Green is behind the mic today. He's filling in for producer Joseph, hanging out with us here. Follow us all over on social media at Chatted Up Sports. Yes, Chase, he's happy because we remembered it at the beginning of the podcast this time. But really excited. Hunter has been on my show for the last 2 years. He's been with you for the last 2 years. Miggie coming up with the radio station.
Hey, man.
We are blessed to have him here today. What's up, dude? How you been?
Dude, it's so good to see you guys. I feel like every time I do, we have grown and we have changed. And I think often in life that can get a bad rap because you'll have friends be like, man, you changed up. Yeah. And it's like, I think they're salty and upset because they didn't evolve. They didn't evolve, and they could have. Like at one point we were together and I changed and evolved for the better, and you kind of stayed the same. And I think people can kind of want to throw that on us, and it's like, nah, man, like you got to take some ownership and responsibility. Like we had the same opportunities, dog. You didn't capitalize, you didn't step up, you didn't evolve, you didn't grow, you didn't go to those scary depths of like failure and this might not work out.
The unknown,
bro. Like you have to get so comfortable with being uncomfortable if you want to grow.
Absolutely.
And I think it's our moral responsibility to want to grow. Like Absolutely. We're blessed with life. Like let's take advantage of it.
You have grown so much over, over the 2 years. And I want to first off, I'm going to go off script, and I want to thank you personally because you motivated me to do something. I was balding. My dreads were pulling my scalp like nobody's business. I had a full head of dreadlocks last time you saw me.
Yeah.
And I saw that you went to Turkey.
Yep.
And I want to talk about that in detail.
Yep.
But like, you inspired me to be able to be comfortable, to be in my own skin. And my life has changed since I got bald. I actually got a sponsorship for being bald. Come on, dog. Like, a brand reached out to me, wanted to partner. And just, I wanted to thank you, not only for myself, but like a lot of people that aren't going to have this platform to reach out and thank you back. Because you motivate so many people that you don't even realize.
Oh, dog.
Real talk.
That's why I do it.
Real
man.
talk.
That's really cool, and something that I've learned that I need to lean into more. I think that I could easily stay in the shell of a celebrity and an actor and stay in that, but I think it's the vulnerability outside of that, and really just using any platform that I've built to be just that, as an opportunity to be real and be rooted and be grounded. And so I want to lean into that more, bro. I'm actually learning barbering right now.
I saw that. I was going to ask you about it.
Is that?
No, I'm learning. So get this. So here's what happened. Obstacles are opportunities.
Yeah.
So my person that cut my hair for like the past 5 years just like ghosted me, like straight. And I hope everything's okay, because like I don't know, they haven't like reached out. But I probably sent them 5 texts trying to get something scheduled. And the last text they sent me was like Monday at 4 p. And it's like, dude, it doesn't work with my schedule. So I hit them back and just nothing. So like 5 texts, like, hey, does this work? A week later, hey, just want to touch base. 2 weeks later, hey, circling back, nothing. Like completely.
I need my haircut, dog. Come on,
dude. So I was like, okay, cool. I hate when people can change my energy, my vibrations, change my life. So anything that I can learn, like skill set, I want to be able to know how to do it in case, something happens. I don't want anyone having that ability to like alter like and I know it's deep to say my livelihood, but you could expand upon it, because in this situation, maybe my hair, but you got people in other positions, if you macro your life, that have even more power, right? So anyway, I was like, okay, cool, dude. I'm just gonna learn how to do this myself. So yeah, sure enough, I reached out to a couple companies that hooked it up as far as like the proper tools. Dude, I have like literally the best set ever. Like it's crazy.
I saw the selfie mirror that you had.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Yeah, I just saw that on Instagram.
Yeah. So I'm just teaching myself that skill, and I know that it'll be valuable down the road. For one, if fortunately, I hope I'm fortunate enough to have a family one day, I'll be able to give them little cuts and keep them fresh. But also for me, it's going to save a lot of money, but more importantly, it's going to save a lot of time, because now I don't have to reach out to my assistant or look at my own schedule and be like, hey, does this work? The back and forth of that, and then driving to the barber, driving to the salon, sitting in the chair, the small talk, and then leaving. And some people might like love that aspect. If you love that aspect, then by all means. But if you do think, wow, I would be better off if I had an extra hour a month, if you get your haircut once a month, or if you get it, every other week, if I had an extra 2 hours a month, where could I utilize that? And would it be more advantageous to learn the skill set, and then you never have to worry about it again? But yeah, I'm loving it. Like, you guys know, I love learning new stuff.
You do.
Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, last time I saw you guys last year, I was just learning the game of golf.
Yep.
And so yeah, still been playing golf heavy, but I just love learning new. And it really doesn't matter what the new is. I think if we understand that when we're in the process of learning, it's going to electrify our brains, and it's going to keep those neural pathways that are capable of learning sharp and in shape. Because if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So if you go 5, 10, 20 years of just going to your job, but you're not pushing yourself to learn something new, whether inside your job or outside of it, then it makes it harder for you to pick up something new. So what happens later in life if, say, you do your job for a decade and then you want to settle down and have a family now? It's going to be harder for you to pick up those skills because the neural pathways have gotten all like cobwebs in it.
Yeah,
bro. So yeah, just staying sharp, and it also gives me more satisfaction of like waking up and having a purpose and having something to do that pushes me, that is new. I really like the learning aspect of life, and I think too often like we settle once we arrive, and it's like, when you climb one mountain, like you realize, oh, there's like 10 others. So it's being excited about that. And I think anybody listening that perhaps just feels like they don't have any new excitement, bro, just try and do something either within the spectrum that you're currently in, or even outside of it, that forces you to learn something new, that forces you to use Google or YouTube or listen to a podcast, something something that gives you a spark and can motivate you. Because then I think not only are you increasing your value, but you're increasing your own self-identity, because you're going to be proud of the fact that like you're going to bed tired, which is another huge thing, bro. I'm so adamant about going to bed tired. Like, and I think how we do that, like people are like, yeah, I just don't sleep good at night. I'm like, I could fact check your day and tell you exactly why. Like, you're not going all in. Like you're capable of so much more. Like we really are. And over time we expand that capacity. So just realizing that we're so much stronger and more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. And even then we're even stronger and more powerful than the arena that we play in. Like, cause we just play in like the confines of life, but there's so much outside of what we're currently doing that we could be doing. But if you view it as overwhelming or like I don't have enough time, then that's like a confined mindset. We want to live in a mindset of abundancy, of like I can. It's so empowering, and we have the power to paint it that way, right? Like we could paint things in a way of overwhelming or stressful or sad or too much, or we could paint it in opportunity and a chance to grow and a chance to understand better that we can only give as much as we are, therefore we must become. And if I love my wife or I love my husband or I love my mom and dad or I love my friends, I want to give them more, right?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to give y'all $20 if you needed 100.
Straight up.
So how do I ensure that I'm able to give what my people deserve? My friends, my family, my community. How can I give them more? I got to become more. So we got to take that responsibility and view it as like a real blessing, you know?
Absolutely.
Wise words for our podcast, trying to build our podcast.
I mean,
here.
literally, I feel this.
Like
I'm
getting motivated. I'm ready to run through a wall right now. I have a bunch of questions. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. Like I want to talk about the motivational stuff. I want to talk about golf, but I had a kind of a funny question for you about the learning how to barber. Like, how many times have you sort of messed up on yourself? Like, have you made a lot of mistakes? Is it a lot of trial and error?
Bro. So I'm so scared of like just butchering something. So what I've done is I've worked on lining up my beard and just working on like my sideburns.
Okay.
And it's amazing. A tip for anybody who has to have grooming, because it's important. You can just keep this part of your hair like tight and your beard lined, regardless of if you have a smaller beard like us or a large beard. If you just keep it lined, it structures out your face.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's so key and so important of making you look however you want. But if you want to look more masculine instantly and look more assertive, and like when you come in the room, your presence matters. Bro, just keep yourself lined up, sharp. It's huge. So I've just been focused on my beard for now and like my sideburns. But I'm getting more comfortable with like the difference between the blade open and the blade closed with different guards, with scissor over comb. I actually it's coming out today on social, so you guys will see it today. But everybody that's on the podcast, it'll already be up. But I cut my dad's hair yesterday. And I gave him like a little fade.
Love it.
And it's so clean. So yeah, it's like a 4 down to like a 1.
Yeah.
And then I did some scissor over comb on the top, and then I did some thinning shears on the sides, and it literally is like a fresh cut. So it's easier on other people.
Yeah.
It is harder on myself because I'm like looking behind, like trying to cut the back of your head.
Got the mirror and the
but it's
hard. Do I go?
Yes, because it's all backwards.
Yeah. But my dad used to cut his own hair, and he used to cut our hair to save money. I mean, I just had a buzz cut, so it was super simple. He had a flat top though, and he had to line it all up and give himself a little fade. He was good at it.
Yeah. So a skill that I'm looking forward to developing, and maybe next year when I come back around, I'll clean you guys up. I'll bring my clippers and clean you guys.
I need the beard tightened up for the one time, man.
I use a straight razor on
I saw that.
Bro, do you see this little nick right here?
Yeah.
Bro, I cut my face. I'm Scarface now. I'm daggum. I looked in the mirror. I was like, "Wait," and I was like, "This kind of cool though."
Right. Little badass.
Need to toughen up this baby face, but
hey, stick scars, baby.
Yeah, right.
That's right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, hopefully it heals. But yeah, I put on a new blade, and sure enough, got reckless with it. And again, I mean, I hate to do it with everything, but one thing is everything. So the little micro lesson is like, look, just because you've done something a million times still doesn't mean that you can be reckless with it. Like you still need to take your time with the process. Don't take the process for granted. Even if you're skilled with it, even if you're good with it, make sure you're locked in and focused, and because life will get you quick. And this is no big deal. It looks cool, but if you're distracted driving, it could not be cool. If you go out and have a drink with your friends, it could not be cool. Like life will get on you quick. And I don't want your potential and your purpose being taken away from you because you got a little reckless. So this was a good little reminder, like, slow down, bro. Like take your time, because it's one thing is everything.
And that's applicable to like athletes that listen to the podcast too, because like one wrong cut, one wrong decision, one night with the homies, that can end your career.
100%.
You know, and that is literally just an example of what that could be. So I really rock with that.
Yeah, 100%. I've had some concussions. So I grew up playing baseball, football, tennis, and I wrestled. And some of my concussions would come at the end of a football game. I got slung and my helmet flipped back, hit off the ground, concussion. It was in an Oklahoma drill where I drilled the running back, and coach said, "All right, do it again." And I was gassed, and I was like, "All right, I just crushed him,
rocked him.
So let's do it again." And I got lazy, and I put my crown of the helmet down. Boom, fell face flat on the ground. So again, it's in moments of redundancy that we can get caught slipping.
Yeah,
it's usually not in the new things, because the new, we're like we're locked in, we're focused, we're like, okay, our bodies have never done this before. It's the majority of wrecks happen 5 miles from home.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's in the things that we do consistently that we start to take for granted. We get lazy, and it'll catch up, whether it's sports or life or business. Like, you just be sharp. If you're clocked in, if you're playing the game, be on, or it's gonna turn you off.
Absolutely. It's gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of all the motivational stuff that you have going on, let's lean into that next. I saw something on social media that you're going to speak in Missouri here coming up soon, and you've been doing a lot of that stuff. You do a lot of it on Twitch and social media and whatnot. So talk to us a little bit about that journey and how it's progressed for you, because I know we kind of talked about it last year too.
Bro, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. I think it's so cool if you can find a handful of friends that you don't have to talk to every day, but you can see, and it's immediately like family.
It's love.
And we're all like doing big things now. Like last time I saw you guys, like, you weren't doing your own podcast, you weren't running things. Y'all have grown so much. Like, even just when I stepped in, like, your presence, the energy. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the podcast. Like people will be like, "Oh, you haven't, you changed." And it's like, "Nah, bro, you didn't."
Yeah.
You didn't. But that's why I love you boys, because like we every year we see each other, we're gonna be doing better.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing better.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I think it's so important to develop a personal brand alongside your professional title, because professional titles can change, but who you are is who you're gonna be, and it's who you're gonna die as, right?
Yeah.
So I got you, man.
Baby. About to tear up over here, dog.
No, so it's just so important that we develop that skill of being able to tell people who we are and what we stand for.
Yeah.
And it is a skill, by the way, but that's the good news, because what you practice, you can get good at, and what you don't practice, you won't improve at. So understanding how to communicate is going to help you so much in the professional space, so businesses, but also in your personal life. Like, it doesn't matter what you know and how you see it. It matters what they know and how they perceive it. Doesn't matter how it's so understanding that is very, very important. But really anybody watching, but especially an athlete, like, there's just a lifespan on that, and you have to understand that and not shy away from it, but embrace it.
Yeah.
And use your current status to leverage opportunities with brands, with partnerships, but also really double down on stepping into your own personal brand and figuring out what that looks like. So what I like to do, or what I actually just discovered it talking to you guys right now, if you took my biggest title away, who am I? Okay, cool. I'll play with you. Hunter is no longer an actor. Who are you? Are you still valuable? Should I still know you? If all you bring to the table is a single title or profession, you are one-dimensional, and that can be taken away in a second.
Heartbeat.
So like, who are you? Not what you do. Who are you? And how did you arrive at that definition? That's key too. Because some people are put on. I think the three of us have done it the long, slow, hard way, brick by brick, never handed nothing. But cool. So the how matters too. And if you have been blessed and fortunate and you did get put on, fantastic. But now what are you going to do with it?
Yeah. You're going to sit around and get comfortable, or are you actually going to build upon that?
Yeah. The start, like, to each their own. I do think it's valuable if perhaps you had to learn all the skill set yourself, but regardless of where you're at, there's skills to be learned. And I think it's so important that we take that ownership. But for real, if anybody takes anything away, at least from this first little bit from me, I love that, because I just came up with it. If you took away your biggest success, are you still valuable? Like, that's deep. And last thing I want to piggyback off that, if you want to impress someone, tell them what you've done. If you want to influence someone, tell them what you've overcome.
Damn right.
And bro, too often, I know I got you, dog. Too often we want to tell people of our successes.
Yeah.
When people need something they can feel and can relate with, and that's always found in your failures.
Yeah, because we all go through those failures. We all deal with the peaks and valleys of life. There are going to be peaks and valleys no matter what you do and no matter what, walks of life that you're in. So it's a great message. It's a great message. You got anything, Meg?
Yeah, man. You haven't changed.
Whoa, yes, he has.
No,
he has evolved. He has changed.
We've just talked about that and grown, but like you haven't changed from the same humbleness. Like you don't act Hollywood. How have you not gotten lost in the glamour and the glitz and the lifestyle? Because like, bro, like I literally feel like I could take you home to my mom and like, hey, we're gonna have meatloaf and potatoes, and you be right there eating some damn meatloaf and potatoes with a smile on your face. How do you say so humble, bro?
Truly. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm fortunate to my mom and dad are recently retired.
Yeah.
But we've always kind of grown up middle to a little less than middle class. And the reason I even hesitated was I never want that to take away from their love, their intent, their work, and make it seem like I'm victimizing anything that's ever happened. I've had an amazing, journey, but it's, I guess a better way to put it is my friends and family don't treat me any different. They still give me a hard time. They still crack the same jokes. So that helps tremendously. So I guess if I could boil it down into a sentence or two that directly speaks to how have you stayed humble, I think it's the circle that I've kept. And I think that's applicable to anybody, no matter what they're doing. Like the people you keep around you will determine how you think, how you feel, how you move. So if you're around people that are always gassing you up, then I think that could potentially go to your head. But also at the end of the day, dude, I know it could just all be taken away. I know I was very fortunate to get this opportunity and that opportunity and that opportunity. So I feel that it was less of a look at me, I did it, and like look at us and how far we've come. So I really view life as like a team sport. And I think that takes the spotlight off me and puts it like, nah, like we're all winning. If you're with me, then we're winning. And if you're not, then maybe you served a purpose or a point in my life. Thank you for that. And just try and view life as a team sport.
Bro, we were just talking about that literally probably like an hour ago, just with this podcast and our recent success. CG can't do what I do. I damn sure can't do what CG does. So
Thanks,
it's just
buddy.
like
we gotta take some time, buddy. We'll get there.
I was like, I got a camera on today. Like I felt impressed with myself. But it's just like it is truly a team sport. Like we all hold each other accountable. It's strength in numbers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we've been able to make the leap is because like we all got each other's back. We're all in.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I wanted to also bring up, and I know we talked about golf, but I also was looking on your Instagram a little bit, creeping a little bit, and I saw you've been traveling a lot so far in 2024. Talk to me a little bit about some of the travel, some of the cool places that you visited and seen.
Cool. So recently I exited the show that I was on, which was All American.
Yep.
I didn't return for, I think they just did a 6th season. So I left after season 5 and I got so comfortable on that show. We shot at Warner Brothers. I would get my script. I would memorize it. I would work out and then I would just go shoot the show. But I wasn't really pushing myself to create new relationships, to create new opportunities for myself, but also for others, which is key. I know sometimes I talk fast, but it's so important that we don't just focus on creating opportunities for ourselves. No one wants to be friends with that dude. It's creating opportunity yourself, but also creating opportunities for others. That's the real magic blend. So I wasn't doing that. I was just comfortable with everything that I had going on. Since the show, I was like, oh, wait, I got to go like make money again. I got to go like do things. Like, I don't just want to sit back and spend the little money that I've saved through the years. I want to go work. I'm young, able, like I want to go grind. I want to go do this. So I got more into the business and entrepreneurial space. And that has opened doors that have changed my life forever. Like, bro, you will never ask me about a project. You see me, dog. Oh, come on now. Yeah, bro. And that's huge. That's huge. So everybody listen, like when you talk about, do you really want to talk about? Do you really want to dive into what lights you up? That's such an important question. Because like for me, it's business and entrepreneurial. But over the past 12 years, like I've been an actor now, and I'm still an actor, but I could just stay in that like one-dimensional type space. But imagine year in, year out, how much I would dull. Bro, you got to be careful about what's going on. I don't care how much money you're making or what title you have or who that impresses. If it's dulling your calling and your purpose, you're gonna have to shine up. You're gonna have to change some things up.
Yeah.
So for me, again, it was getting in this space and it was being around like real heavy hitters, not like Hollywood party. Like, you know, I got some jewelry. These guys, they don't wear anything. Like just 7-8 figure type guys.
100 million.
Like CEO of like, I won't disclose, but like people that you're like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
you created that.
Yeah.
I use that every day.
Yeah.
Oh my, like just different people. And what I found about them is they're insanely humble and they are so willing to help. And I think it's because they've reached levels where now, like, what else are they going to do? Go make another 100 million? And like they are, but it's most of it's systematized and I don't want to say automatic, but it's like they have systems in place where the business just runs. They don't have to be grinding as much anymore. So they have more time on their hands and they're still going to make the same amount of money. If that makes sense. Like in the software space and things like that. So they're so willing to help or give you a contact. And quick thing on contacts, which I think is, I learned it recently. I'm like, oh, this makes sense. It's not, you've heard, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where most people stop. And they think, oh, I know so-and-so, game over. No, the game just begun. So it's not what you know, but who you know and what value you can bring them. People forget that part. And what value you can bring them. Because if you just know somebody that's on, they're on. They don't need you. You need them.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you create something where maybe they don't need you, but they at least appreciate you? So again, it's not what you know, it's who you know, but it's the value that you can bring the people that you know. And I think that's a common thing that we had at the beginning, we'll have in the middle, we'll have at the end of this podcast. Bro, you have to bring value to other people. And the only way you can bring value to other people is to discover the value within yourself. So you have to really take some ownership on like this mission that is life of figuring out your purpose and your passion and like, why am I breathing today? And it's so much larger than we think because we all get hung up on that single professional title of what we say we are. And it's so much more than that. That's like the big head to the long tail. But the long tail is like the whole body. Like, you know what I'm saying? So really like pressing into like, man, what do I want to have accomplished if I were to be able to fast forward my life? Like if I were to just run this timeline out, am I doing it? Are there areas that I want to improve on?
Yeah.
When all is said and done is like, what do I want to say I have done? And who do I want to say I have helped? And furthermore, who do I want to have said that I helped them? So I was thinking about it, not just from your lens, but their lens as well. It's super, super powerful.
Legacy.
Yeah.
100%.
And again, not for your own sake, but for the team's sake. Because remember, life is a team sport. So it's cool when people can say, oh, I know him. Bro, it gives people a sense of light. So it could be viewed as like selfish when you go to grind mode and monk mode and like lock in mode. That's the most selfless thing you can do because you can only give as much as you are. Therefore, you must become. So when you level up, guess what? Everybody around you wins because they get a better version of you and they deserve a better version of you. So it's like being obsessed with this mission of like becoming, but also this is key too, not being rude about it. Understand that everybody knows something that you don't, that you don't, right? So not having an ego about it, like, nah, man, I'm grinding right now. Don't talk to me. If it is somebody that you could potentially help in the process, now absolutely, yeah. But I love this too. If I'm trying to help somebody, I won't reach back, but I will invite forward.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of people with big hearts, they're like, man, but I got to help them, Bro, you're never going to help anybody reaching back. You got to invite them to play up to your level. And then everybody can really win at scale. But if you're always going back, you're never going to get a step forward. And they need you a step forward. Right. So again, especially when we're talking about like friends, like again, man, you changed up. Like, man, what you mean you don't have time to hang out anymore? It's like, nah, dog, look, I got a purpose. I got a vision. I got a plan to execute it. It doesn't always have to be like this. It can be better. You got to trust me, but you got to ride with me. Like I can't always be reaching back saying, come on, man, pick it up. No, you got to evolve. You got to step up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't always reach back, but you can always invite forward. So that way it doesn't mess up your process and grind. Because what I can't have happen is in 20 or 30, 40 years, you have regrets because you played small ball because everybody else did around you.
Yeah.
And then y'all are just sitting around thinking about what could have been, or remember that one year we had. Nah, I want the life we had, dog, not that 1 year.
Yeah. That's the moment. You said it to me the other day. Moments embody your work.
Listen, there's moments and there's body of work.
Yeah.
What do you want that body of work to look like? Moments is one thing.
Yeah.
But if you truly have a body of work that is literally, you're proud of it, I mean, that's everything. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, it's cool being and playing with the Savannah Bananas. Love the Savannah Bananas. They are so entertaining. Everybody wants to play with the pinstripes. Everybody wants to be a Yankee. Everybody wants to be a Met.
I don't know. Well, probably not a Met.
People want to,
as much as I love them, probably not.
You want to play big, man.
Yeah.
And that means everything. But you have to, while you're in this level of small ball, you have to have big league mentality, big league traits, the things that you're talking about. Man, I'm waking up at 3 a.m. tomorrow, and just because of you, bro. Like, I feel like I'm not working hard, brother.
Big y'all see on that trail run, big dog.
Come on, dog. Local Chattanooga podcaster brings Chick-fil-A to trail run. More on the daily refresh.
Gotta get those carbs in, you know?
Yeah, gotta burn something.
Gotta be something to do so.
Oh my God.
I just dipped under 200. Sorry, boys.
All right. I got some blueberry muffins I'm bringing to you.
Yeah,
he's
as long
back.
as Miss Hannah made them, we're
Of
all right.
course. Yeah.
So you mentioned, All-American and things like that. So what's next for you in the acting space? Do you have any ideas? Like what's next for you in that realm?
Yeah, I've really taken it upon myself to get in the best shape of my life and get back into just being absolutely dialed in, like really, really taking it serious. And I've done that through a combination of training techniques and different philosophies that I've been lifting for 20 years. So I've been doing that. But it really has been the discipline in my dieting and just saying, taking more pride in that and honoring the fact that I know that if I put in that one good deposit today, that tomorrow I'm going to be better because of it. Mm-hmm. By the way, I fast, which is huge. It makes weight loss or maintaining like effortless, like six pack, almost effortless. And I really, really mean this, but the mental clarity that it gives you and the time that it gives you is crazy. Like I don't have to break for like anything. Like I don't have to worry about the fog of anything. Like, dude, I'm just so sharp. Now, obviously athletes listening, completely different. I'm speaking more towards like the entrepreneurs or the people who are more in the business space who don't have to perform at the highest level. I do think there is a lot of science that backs not fasting necessarily for high performance. I think obviously carbs, proteins, fats, I think carbs play a huge part in athletic performance. So again, being mindful of who I'm speaking to, but me personally as like someone who is more on the, I guess, analytical side, I'm using my mental more. My mental needs to perform more than my physical. Like my physical is just working out, but my mental is like scaling business, consulting, coaching. That has to be super sharp. I love the fasting portion of it. But yeah, when we're talking about next level roles, the action space. I guess I said all that to say I want to do action films. Nice. I just auditioned for a great one with Keanu Reeves. I just auditioned for a really cool one with Liam Neeson, the guy from Taken.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, these are legends in the space, and you never know if you're going to book it, but you just want to have a good showing. So the casting director was like, cool, I like that guy. He's not perfect for this, but down the road, maybe. So you just want to good at bat. Like you know what I'm saying? And I think like people who are especially in the sports, let's say not at the professional level yet, or are in like a farm league system or like AA, single A, triple A, you just want to good at bat. Like the big leagues, the major leagues, the NFL, it's all going to take care of itself. You have good practice today. You have good reps today. You take pride in the wind sprints that you're running today. You know, and for actors, like just have a good audition. Yeah. Don't worry about booking it or no. Crush the audition. Crush the opportunities that you're given, and soon you'll be given more. I think too often it's like it's like, no, it's the present. Like we look in the future so much for like what's next. It's like, bro, if you take advantage of the now, the next is going to handle itself.
Reps.
Yeah, matter.
When you're talking about making connections and things like that too. Like you said, if there's one casting director that doesn't maybe like you for this role, but hey, you're a good dude. We like what you bring to a movie or a set or whatever. Maybe there's a better role for you down the line.
Relationships are everything.
Yeah.
It allows me to come in here and hit you guys up and say, oh, we got a show. Come on. Like it's relationships are everything in the sports world, in the business world, like no matter what you do in life. That's why I think it's so important to not burn bridges. And it can be easy when you're younger because you have an ego. And when people do you wrong, you want to do them back. And if you can just breathe and let time handle it. Look, dog, if you're a winner and you're dealing with someone who perhaps possesses more loser energy and is out to hurt you, bro, they got to live with that for the next 50, 60, 70 years. Like they're not evolving and changing. You are. Yeah. So you continue on your path of being a winner. Life is going to be miserable for them. You don't have to worry about them. You don't have to try to have some vendetta or get them back or tit for tat. Let them play their ball. You play yours. You stay in your lane and you focus on you. Because anytime focus away from that on them, again, you're stooping down to a level. Again, you're reaching back. Come on, man. Like you can invite people up to play your level, but you can't be going back. It just hurts you.
You said something just now, and I want to piggyback off of it. Social capital is the best capital.
Agreed.
And the networking aspect is something that you have to have. And for those listening that are timid and shy and aren't as, I would say, boisterous as you and me, like we have no fear. We have all heart. What do you have to say to those folks? It's like, how can I get out there more?
Yeah, I think understanding that we've developed that through a tremendous amount of repetitions, practice, and time that they perhaps aren't even aware of. So it's a skill. And anytime I classify something as a skill, I want it to grace people as an opportunity, and I want them to get excited and perk up because a skill can be developed. So a skill is different than a talent, potentially, depending on how we define it. But a talent can be defined as something that you were born with, something that is innate, that just is in your DNA, but a skill can be developed, right? So understanding that developing your voice takes time and practice, but you're never going to get good at something that you don't practice. You're never going to get good at something you don't do. And if you understand that the doing of this, let's say building a social platform or a social presence or a personal brand, if we boil it down a bit more, or a personal relationship with ourselves, now we're getting into something that is applicable to every human being that breathes, because you better know yourself. Don't live this thing for 80 years and never know yourself. And I mean, know yourself. Know why you do stuff, not just that you do stuff or what you can do, but why you do stuff. Like really how you move and tick, and understanding how past relationships have shaped you into the now so that you can look out for green flags and red flags and future things. Like you got to be a student of the game. But again, so we're talking about developing a personal relationship with ourselves. But I think that can be found through social experiments, if you will, which is just social media, social branding, all that good stuff. I think you don't have to try and be someone else. No one's Miggie, no one's Hunter, no one's Greg. No, you are you. So whatever that strength is for you, you still need to practice it.
Okay.
And there's a few different mediums that you can do. You don't always have to do on camera. You can do written. You can do just podcast only where there's no visual aspect to it. You can just get plugged into a community that you believe in and comment and build relationships through the comments. The only thing about that is I do think that can get more into the fandom, which could be classified as escapism. And I really think we're all called to be the man or woman in the arena, opposed to just sitting our whole life in the stands. So that's why I don't get too involved in a community where you start to identify as the community and you are the community. I still think you need to be you. Now you can be a part of communities and you can bring value to them, but I still think it all has to go with like, who am I? But yeah. So again, if you don't have XYZ, good, you shouldn't. We're totally different human beings, and the world needs everybody, and the world needs you. So whatever your skill set is, I don't know what it is, but develop it and learn it and take the time to understand how you can best utilize it to bring value to the world. And through that, you're bringing value to yourself. You're going to be becoming, you're going to be learning and growing and evolving. And like I said, one thing is everything. So that's what I would do. I would suggest what makes you light up, which we talked about earlier.
Oh yeah.
And because I guarantee you, if you get something that lights you up, you're not even gonna know the camera's on.
Nah.
You're not gonna know anything's
Straight
going.
motion.
So like,
Mhm.
so sharing your truth and your passion and taking it upon yourself to really discover what that is on a deeper level, not just a surface level, but like deeply. Why does this attract me? Really, really quick. So I thought I wanted to be a pro baseball player. I went to the University of Alabama to play baseball, but I was also in the pre-dental program. I thought I was going to be a pediatric dentist, but then I got on a TV show, Teen Wolf. MTV's Teen Wolf was my first ever gig, and then that led me down the route of the path of acting. I'm writing a book right now, and it's about how we have so much purpose beyond the surface. So like there's so much more to us than just our professional title. It had nothing to do with baseball. I like being on a team and I like winning. Straight up. It had nothing to do with teeth. There's nothing about teeth that I'm like, yes, I love teeth. It had everything to do with helping. I like helping people. I like making people smile.
Facts.
I like making people feel good. It had nothing to do with acting. I just wanted a platform and a stage where I could speak, where I could have emotion, where I could provoke and evoke emotion out of other people to make them think, to make them go deeper with themselves. So again, it was disguised as these titles that sound good when I would shake your hand and tell you what I did, but it was really the deeper roots that helped me build that self-identity, which I think we even led with this podcast of like, it's not necessarily like what you do professionally, it's who you are. But it's going to take all these professional endeavors, trial and errors, but you have to extrapolate the deeper lessons so you really know like 10 toes how you stand.
Yeah.
Check out hunterclowdus.com if you want more of this. He does, personal one-on-one mentorship. You can apply for that on his website. A lot of good stuff there. And obviously you don't need any more than listening to this podcast to know this man's got it.
Thank you, brother.
Of course. Yeah.
Got that juice, buddy.
Yeah, big time. So you got a lot of things going on. Obviously, while you're home, we know you're on the daily refresh. You came on with us, and you're going to go out to the Lookouts game. You're doing another meet and greet. You always do those when you come back, and I think everybody's hyped up about that. So tell us a little bit more about what you're going to be doing out there and where people can meet you.
I tell you what, there's nothing more rewarding than coming back to a familiar place and being able to bring some value to it. Sometimes it takes going away to grow, but it's never forgetting where you came from, in a sense that you are just deeply grateful for the places that you were at previously.
Yeah.
And that could be physically or mentally. It's really cool to go out and try something crazy and then go back to your old streets, your old hangouts. It just, because you see things differently. It's a different lens you're wearing now, and it's it really does hit different. So the Chattanooga Lookouts, I love them forever. Larry Ward, who announces for them, was the first man to ever give me a job as a bat boy for the Chattanooga Lookouts.
Nice.
And I use that more than you guys could ever know, because I would park in the parking structure and ride down, typically with fans that were also going to the game, because I had to get there a little early, and so would the fans. And almost every time there would be the cutest girl in that elevator. And I would say, "Oh, you guys going to the game?" And they'd be wearing lookout hats and everything. So I knew they were going. I'd be like, "Oh, you guys going to the game?" And they'd say, "Yeah, we're excited. Are you?" And I'd be like, "Oh, well, actually, I'm the bat boy. So I'll be on the field. But maybe after the game, I could give you a ball." Dude, it worked every time. It was my move.
Yeah. That's easy money.
Yeah. So no, it was such a cool experience because I was around older guys. I was around that locker room. I was able to see team through the wins and the losses at that level, be working with them. They were so inclusive. I mean, I was literally wearing a uniform in the dugout. I always worked the home side. So I actually got to know the players.
That's awesome.
And it was just, it was such a great experience. So now fast forward, that's actually how I booked 42, by the way, the story of Jackie Robinson. I used that in my pitch to the casting directors. Like, hey, I used to actually be a bat boy. And we shot a lot of that film in Chattanooga.
Yeah, Angle Stadium, right?
Yeah. So when I said I was a bat boy for the Chattanooga Lookouts, I'm locally based. I think it pushed them over the edge, and eventually I won the job. But the Chattanooga Lookouts, July 5th. I'm not sure when this will air, but nonetheless, July 5th, 7:15 is the first pitch, and there is going to be fireworks after the game.
Love it.
But what I do and what I've been trying to do every year is come back, and I have a little table set up where I can, shake hands and say what's up. But it's always inspiring, because usually in those 30 to 60-second interactions, you can just pick up on someone's energy and where they're at. And when you can be someone who has been there, done that, or when you can be someone who is authoritative in any position, you have expertise in any area, you can bring value to them. And it might not be in what you say. You might not hit everybody with a one-liner that changes their life. It can be how you stand. It can be how you enter your room. It can be the team around you. It can be how you dress. Every time we go out, we got to take pride in that, because that's our essence. That's our being. That's our energy. That's what we're exchanging with those who we speak with and those who we don't. So it's really coming correct, and it's taking pride in that. And I love being able to do it here in my hometown, Chattanooga, Tennessee, with the Lookouts, who, again, I mean, they cut me my first check, dog. So like,
oh yeah,
hey
boy,
man,
I show love.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Are you throwing out the first pitch?
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Have you been throwing it all? You ready? Is the wing loose?
Funny you ask, bro. So get this. So I played a very high level of baseball, but I never hit a home run ever.
Wow.
Like I would hit something inside the park because
you're fast.
Bro, I never hit a home run during a game.
Wow.
And I was working out with some college baseball friends of mine because I was like, yo, like I'm only getting older. Like I got to be able to hit a home run. And of course, they all play like semi-pro. They brought all wood bats. I'm like, bro, I'm not. Bring me an
one with a wood.
Bring me an aluminum bat, dog. So sure enough, I didn't get one out, but I got some close. Like a one bouncer over the wall was the best I hit it.
Double. We taught Miggie how to throw.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I threw the opening pitch probably like a couple years ago.
Actually, that's amazing.
And like, bro, I was like, y'all, I got myself into a situation, and I came to him and I'm like, I don't know what I'm about to do, dog. And he was like, all right, come into the studio. We're going to teach you how to throw.
We literally practiced for like an hour in the parking lot, just teaching the mechanics of throwing and practicing over and over and over again.
I'm in some tight jeans and some dunks, and oversized jeans.
Just sweating the downtown.
and this was a few years ago, right?
This was a few years ago.
Cool. So it's cool. A few years later, we're talking about that experience. And had you been shy or reserved or not lean into being comfortable with the uncomfortable, had you said, oh, I don't know how to do that, I'm good, pass, we wouldn't have this moment years later.
Yeah.
So whatever you're going through now, if it's crazy and wild and unknown and larger than you, good. Trust that you're going to grow into it, and trust that it's actually going to be a piece that relates you to another human being down the road.
And I think it helped us bond. As I think it was us three, because we were all out there. I think it helped us bond as friends too, because it was like, all right, this growing experience. We need to help our dog out so he doesn't embarrass himself in the middle of a diamond in front of a bunch of people. So and he was awesome. He threw a strike.
Don't be like me. Oh,
he felt
those nerves. He felt those nerves.
Don't be like me looking at like worst pitches. Like, have you seen like 50 Cent?
Oh yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, bro.
Did y'all recently see Arian Foster's first pitch?
No.
Ball for life.
All right. So, Arian's got his big paw. He's got macrodosing. And so he was talking about, all right, Padres, bring me back to the hometown. He's guaranteed. He's like, I'm the best athlete in the world. He is got all sorts of swag. I love Arian.
Oh, yeah.
Big T responded. He goes, you threw it 60 feet, but it only went 35. So don't be 35. All right.
No, get it there.
It's tough. Yeah.
That's so good. That's good for baseball. It's good for life. It's also good for golfing. Dude, don't leave the putt short. Like, and again, expanded to life, so it's applicable to everyone. Like, don't leave your talents short.
Yeah.
Don't leave your purpose short. Don't leave your love short. Like push it beyond what you think it's capable of, because there's more capacity that you're not even fulfilling. Like when I'm telling you boys, like we are so powerful, like even more than we can see. That's why we got to operate a lot on faith and hope and belief that we can grow into. Because if we just operate with our current skill set, well, it's like if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always got. Like you have to play bigger. The only way to scale, the only way to grow is outside of what you're comfortably capable of. Like even this morning, we started off the workout with 100 pull-ups. 100 pull-ups. It was like 6 a.m. this morning. Just ripped off 100 before we even started the workout. And that's not typical. I was with my boy and we were chopping it up. So we had some more energy. Again, use what life gives you, by the way. If life gives you a breakup, use it. Don't let it hurt you. Use it. If life gives you some pain, turn that into a privilege and turn up. Or if life gives you a pleasure, let's use that too. Like use everything that life gives you. But again, pushing outside normalcy to reach a level of, extraordinary. You have to be outside of ordinary to get to extraordinary.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're different.
Thank you.
Built different.
You're different, boy.
All right. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about your golf journey and how that's going. You getting better? How's the golf game?
Yeah. So again, my brother Dan, he's actually in the studio today doing some filming for me. But we worked out this morning.
Yeah.
He also hooked it up. We're playing Chattanooga Golf and Country Club tomorrow.
Nice. So nice.
And I've never played this course before.
Jealous.
And I cannot wait to lose a ton of golf balls over there. No, hopefully, hopefully I can find my driver. That's the thing.
One.
That's the big one because bro, if I get a hold of it, it's going 280, 290, 300 with rollout. Like seriously. So that's a huge margin. It's a slight margin of error that could really take it off path. By the way, daggum, I hate to do it. Life, hello, it's a long game. Life is a 300-yard drive.
Yeah.
So a little off track right now in your teens and your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, bro, by the time you get to the end of this game, 60, 70, 80, you're not even close to where you were supposed to be. So just understand every little move matters, and a little bit off is actually a lot once you expand the distance or in life expand the timeline. But anyway, yeah, with golf, I still got that baseball slice.
Yeah.
So I got to work. I got to work on that a little bit tomorrow. Short game is great. I've always had really good mitts, super soft. So my chipping, I love. My putting, I love reading the green. And I've grinded it pretty consistently over the past year since I saw you last. I just started last.
Yeah, fresh.
By the way, I played in the Genesis Pro-Am.
Oh, sick.
With Nick Dunlap, who Roll Tide. He was he graduated from there. So I got partnered up with him.
Yeah.
And are we not a Roll Tide? Right?
No, we're not at all.
Not that
big
old you see the power T right there?
So I was gonna let you have one.
Yeah.
I also got to say this. Go Vols, because they just won the College World Series.
All right, he's back.
They
three claps on time. 3 claps on time.
Yeah.
Yes. Redeeming yourself.
I think why I loved Alabama for so long was the coaching. And I've always been a huge fan of players and coaches more than the team. So when people say what's your favorite team, it really goes down to who's it comprised of. I love Tom Brady. I just think he's the GOAT. So when he went to the Bucks, I had on a Bucks shirt, because I really gravitate towards the players because that tells me just deeper. Again, purpose beyond surface. But anyway, so but now that I'm removed from the college scene, and I think my next move after California might be back to Chattanooga, might be somewhere in Tennessee. I find myself rooting for the Vols way more.
Chattanooga is such an amazing city, man.
Dude, I love it. Every time I'm back, I'm like, it's growing. It's growing and it's evolving too. Yeah. Because sometimes we can think it's limiting, but really there's so many opportunities here. But quickly on the golf thing. So I played in the Genesis Invitational Pro-Am at Riviera, one of the most prestigious golf clubs in the world.
Yeah.
And the pro went, and then it was my turn. And we started on the 10th tee, which the 10th tee is notorious for being the hardest at Riv.
Yeah.
And I was playing a big slice because all day on the range, I was hitting this huge slice. And I was like, okay, I know it's going to slice. So I literally, and there were spectators there.
Yeah.
So I turned my body so far away from the fairway.
Oh, no.
And I literally aim it at this little small family. I'm like, if this does not slice, I'm thinking in my head, if this does not slice, one of their kids is not going home today. But I was like, the last thing I'm gonna do is take anything off this drive. Yeah. So I swung as hard as I could. And sure enough, that thing was like a boomerang. I mean, it curved around the family and landed 20 feet just off the fringe from the hole. And Nick, so the pro, and me, we both parred that hole. Nice. The rest of the time was terrible, but dude, literally,
that's that one moment.
That's all I needed.
Moment. You keep coming back because those little moments.
Yeah. But no, I played that massive slice, awesome. and again, I think I'm gonna stop apologizing. You know what you're getting at this point. You got to know what you bring to the table. You got to know your skill sets, and you got to play towards those. And when you're around other people that are doing it different, if you don't do it different, don't try and be them. You be you.
And you took a calculated risk.
I did.
You know what I'm saying? Like that could have went left in a quick, but you took that chance and you had no fear, bro.
Because the work that I'd done previously told me what was going to happen in that situation.
Yeah.
See, we don't fail to our levels of expectation. We fail to our levels of preparation.
Yeah.
There's this thing my dad taught me. It's the 6 P's. You heard of this before?
No, hit me with it.
Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. So if you prepare,
dog.
Yeah.
if you prepare better than anybody in the room, that's why I
Yeah.
mean, I hate Tom Brady because I'm a Falcons fan, but I love Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Because he prepared
25,
better than
28.
anybody. Hey, stop that. He prepared better
Sorry,
than
17.
anybody. You know, like
Yeah.
he was watching film. He was like, the reason I knew that safety was coming and crashing down
Yes.
is because I've seen it 300 times before y'all even woke up.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
Yes.
So preparing is everything, dog.
Preparing is everything. And you guys do an exceptional job with me, but I'm sure with all your guests. It doesn't take as much time as you think to quickly prepare for someone so that you can ask questions that pertain to their present.
Yeah.
Right. So you're asking about things that like literally just went up on social, and it doesn't take long to do that.
Oh.
I think a great rule of thumb is like a 4-to-1 ratio. So if you're giving an hour-long presentation or meeting or something, I guess technically it'd be a 1-to-4, but like 15 minutes prep for an hour-long thing.
Yeah.
And that can invert if you've never done it before, if you are completely green. And then if you're doing a 15, or if you're doing we'll keep it 1 hour presentation, maybe it takes 4 hours of prep to make sure you really got it. But that 1-to-4, 4-to-1 ratio is works really, really well for me. Another little hack that I want to give you guys. I don't know how we are on time, but it's super short.
Oh, we're solid.
So I have a little digital timer that is like a kitchen timer, and I roll it to 20 minutes and then I press start. And for the next 20 minutes, no phone, no social, like no phone. And I just dial in. Maybe I'm editing. Maybe I'm doing some ideation, conceptualization. I'm figuring out what I want to talk about, what I want to speak about, what I want to write, what I want to share, who I want to be even. And it's amazing how, have you guys heard of Parkinson's law?
Not really.
Oh, dude, game changer. Okay, cool. It says essentially that the allotted amount of time given, the work will take up the allotted amount of time given. So if we give ourselves an hour to do a task, it'll take us more or less an hour. If we give ourselves 20 minutes, it'll take 20 minutes. Same task. We have a way of filling up that time. Have you ever heard, like more money, more problems? And the more money you make, the less you see, because even when you scale financially, it's like, well, so did everything else in your life. Yeah, it's the same principle of like whatever the space is, we will fill it up. So by minimizing the space, it makes you so much more efficient. And I've been doing that with my workflow, and it's been, I've been on fire the past month. Like I actually have. I've been on, and I maybe on podcast, I'll show you like my drafts that I have already shot, ready to go. Dude, it's like I'm sitting on so many, like 100 pieces of content, like fire bangers.
Wow.
Because I've been so efficient. Yeah. And that can be done through batch shooting. We could get into the social aspect whenever, but yeah, the little timer, game changer. So if you got to study film, 20 minutes on the timer, don't go an hour. I'm gonna put 2 hours in right now. You can, but do 6 sets of 20 minutes. I'm telling you, just like with working out. Yeah. Like I didn't do 100 pull-ups. Couldn't. I did 10 sets of 10. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, one thing is everything. It's we overcomplicate it and we bite off more than we can chew, and we think like, all right, I'm gonna lock in. Like I got 4 hours till I'm off. Like I'm gonna grind for 4 hours. No, dude. Like do that in sets. You can still get 4 hours of work, but it's going to be maximized with efficiency. So I even shot a YouTube video on it, but it's titled like work sprints. But these 20-minute little sessions, I'm putting you guys on game.
On game.
It's changed my life over the past month of making me like an efficiency machine, and it's giving me more time back.
I'm definitely taking that, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I did something similar to that last night. Actually, I set my timer for 10 minutes and I just meditated for 10 minutes. I turned my phone off, all of that. I prayed. I did everything. It ended up being like 20 minutes. So I kind of used that last night without even hearing about it first. Yep.
The circles that I've been around, like the 7-8 figure guys, they are so consistent with their calendar. Like they're to the minute. They know what they're doing. They don't even play 18 holes of golf. They play 9. Their time matters that much to them.
I do like playing 18.
I love a good 18. but like again, levels to it and figure out what level you want to get to, and then just emulate those who are at that level, and don't reinvent the wheel. Like someone has probably done something similar to what you want to accomplish in life. Figure out who has, emulate what they do, watch how they move, watch how they work, and then you're not starting from scratch. You're starting with a template.
I love that.
Follow this man all over the place. At Hunter Clowdus, YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, hunterclowdus.com, and then on Twitch, obviously, as well. You can go twitch.tv/Clowdus. I love seeing you, dude. It's just so good to see your face, hear this energy, feel the energy from you. Like it just radiates off you when we're talking. And I love you for it. Even if you didn't have that, I think you're just a great human being. Like Malcolm was saying, you just seem very humble, very down to earth. So we appreciate you taking the time to jump on our show. Like we're not with Brewer Media anymore, a big, company. You like us enough. We made a good enough connection over the last couple of years to say, hey, you want to take the time out to jump on our show. And that means a ton. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love you boys, and just what y'all continue to stand for, which is the fact that you can grow and you can learn and you can become and you can do it yourself, and just taking that ownership and responsibility. And I mean, you guys are as good as gold inside and out. Like y'all are the real deal. So anytime I'm in town, like we're always going to set something up because we grow from it. Like I'm a firm believer in iron sharpens iron.
No doubt.
So anytime I'm around you guys, like I leave here on fire, lit up, like ready to go too. So again, thank you guys so much for everything always.
Whenever you want to play golf. I'm still waiting on a golf game with you, brother. Let's go.
If you want to smoke on College Football 25 when it drops in a couple weeks.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Are you going to be on Twitch? I'm sure streaming.
I have to.
I will be tuning in for sure.
Bet.
There he is, Hunter Clowdus here on Chatted Up Podcast. Again, thank you to Wavelength Studios, and follow us all over social media at Chatted Up Sports. For Chase Green, Malcolm Harris, my man Hunter Clowdus, I'm Greg Leonard. We'll see you next time.